There are broken physics in this game, and it is driving me crazy. Also, there is a lawsuit that could be preventing Kadabra and its evolutionary line from being in Sword and Shield. These are just a few of the topics we'll be covering today. Hey out there, BubbleTube fans, it's Eric here, ready to bring you some interesting facts from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's get to it. Now onto some serious facts. Serious like the lawsuit that took a yellow spoon bending creature out of the card game type facts. But first, Rillaboom. Look at this beast of a monster. Looks pretty bulky, hey? Standing at 6'11", how much would you think this tank would weigh? Well, to my surprise, according to the dex, 198 pounds, or just around 90 kilograms. At that height and that weight, he is basically just skin and twigs. Twigs is bones. Obstagoon. Is there a Hoenn Obstagoon? Maybe. But since we were children in Generation 3 and there was no day and night cycle, we never had a chance to train a Lanoon outside at night. Therefore, never evolved. Well, at least in the original, we probably had a curfew because, didn't have a dad, so we shouldn't go out at night. But Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did in fact have day and night cycles. And there was no evolution to be seen that we know of. What about the names of the Zigzagoon line? Well, Zigzagoon can only run in zigzags, Lanoon can only run in straight lines before an abrupt stop, and Obstagoon, well, they move in an obstructive manner to obstruct anyone from getting around them. Their name is a mix of obstruct and raccoon. Mr. Rime. Yet again, a mime with a name issue. The original Mr. Mime was named so by the English translation team without knowledge that one day there would be a gender variation of it. Growing up with Gen 1, everyone thought Jinx was the female counterpart to him. Later it was revealed that Mr. Mime could in fact be male or female. This makes sense when you look at its Japanese name of Barrier, which is a mix of barrier and weird. There are no gender specifications within. As for Mr. Rime, his English name is Mr. Rime, which is a derivative of rime, a type of frost, and mime, not to be confused with rhyme, because mimes don't talk. Duh. His Japanese name is Barikoru, which may be a combination of barrier and koru, meaning to freeze. Pokemon Sword and Shield marks the very first time since Generation 2 that a fire starter has not ended up being a dual type in its final form. But fuck, with this design it may as well have been. My biggest critique of Pokemon Sword and Shield is the physics. The physics are all wrong on one thing that is super noticeable. As someone who rides my bike around all the time, I find it very unsatisfying that when my character goes down a hill, the speed is exactly the same as when going up a hill or on a flat plane. I feel like that is one bit of physics they could have added into the game which would have been enjoyable by all. And now for the big one. The reason why Abra and Kadabra, and therefore Alakazam, is not in Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. This could all very well be due to an existing lawsuit lasting for well over 20 years now. Well, actually, exactly 20 years. To this month, December. Abra's exclusion from Sword and Shield marks the very first time that Abra has ever been excluded from a main series game. Ever! The reasoning behind this goes all the way back to December of 1999. Long story short, a self-proclaimed psychic claimed that Kadabra was created after him, but an evil version. This led to changing the anime and the trading card game forever. Other games were also affected, but in very subtle ways. For instance, Pokemon Puzzle League, which came out September of 2000, had Sabrina's team altered to have Abra, Alakazam, and Hypno? Yeah, they put in Hypno instead of Kadabra. For full details of how the trading card game got forever altered and the anime has changed to tiptoe around this lawsuit, check out this full-length video on it. This is quite possibly the most interesting Pokemon trivia I've ever dug into. Check it out.